All right, so we got some brand new Hogwarts Legacy details about everything from the feeling of combat comparisons to a very big franchise that may surprise you. Are boss battles any good? And what's it like to play on the hardest difficulty? And so much more. And remember to use the video guide in the description below to skip ahead to the info you seek, because yeah, I know your time is valuable. And be sure to check this out right here. That's right, I'm doing a very big next-gen console giveaway. So for a chance to win a PS5, Xbox Series X, or Nintendo Switch, be sure to follow that link in the pinned comment. Good luck to everyone who enters. All right, so here we go. Let's get into all those juicy Hogwarts details, shall we? So this comes from someone that has been playing the game for quite some time. And guess what? They're also playing the game on the hardest difficulty. So let's get into the first question right here. It goes on to say this: how is the combat? Does it feel repetitive? That's a great question. And the answer is this right here. Hammy Bammy 1995 says this: combat is really good. I thought it was going to be easy, but you got to pay attention and know what you are doing. I'm early in the game and got my butt handed to me for an hour by the first boss. Gameplay to me feels a little like Dark Souls. So that's going to make a lot of you guys happy. Of course, there are difficulty settings. So if you're a little bit apprehensive of this game being too difficult, you don't have to worry. You can lower the difficulty, raise the difficulty, do whatever you want, whenever you want, by the way. Now we have this question: what are the boss battles like? Big creatures or small humanoid dudes? And Hammy Bammy goes on to say this right here: no big creatures, dungeon was crazy, puzzle was hard a bit, and the boss whooped me for an hour straight. And he also had outside help to hit me with a spell when I almost finished him a couple times. Now you got to remember there's also dragons in this game, so there are bigger creatures, of course. I don't think he has gotten to that part in the game yet, but he also goes on to say this about playing on the hardest difficulty. He says, also another thing, I'm playing the game on the hardest difficulty. When I say it's like a baby Dark Souls, I'm not lying. I won't spoil anything, but I spent an hour fighting the first boss. The CC chains, it does, and all the attacks you gotta roll out the way and chain attacks when you finally see an opening. I thought the game was gonna be a bit easy since I thought they wanted to appease to mass majority. Welp, after getting my butt whooped for an hour, I've been glued to the game. So I think a lot of you that come from Elden Ring, that come from those style of games, will absolutely adapt to this game very well, it seems, if you up the difficulty all the way to the hardest difficulty. So that is really, really cool to hear. Now, we have this question here as well. It goes on to say this: how big is the open world? The map leaks look a bit narrow in parts. Once again, an excellent question. As we can see here, the game looks fairly big, but let's see what Hammy Bammy has to say about it. He says, it looks narrow, but it's actually big. I understand how a lot of people get that idea, but once you are able to walk outside of Hogwarts and you could just take off to running or riding on your broom, and you see how much crap there is to do and how you've been exploring for hours and unlocking things just for the game to say you're still close to Hogwarts and only explored 1%. So again, it seems like it's fairly large. And from my previous video, if you missed it, check it out, by the way. We had some hints and teases that there's an entire area that we have never seen before in the previews, and it's been kept a secret, which gets me very, very hyped. Now we have Screen Gamer Official, who says, how long did it take to open the free roam outside of Hogwarts, and can you go freely around the world at night? Another fantastic question, and the response comes from Hammy Bammy. It says it took me like 4 to 5 hours to actually be able to free roam a bit. So this game sounds like it's going to be very extensive. They're going to slowly introduce you to the story, the characters, which I personally love how they really took their time introducing you to the story, the characters, the backdrop. I love that. Now, we have this one. How long did it take to get your wand? Another great question, and the answer is this right here. You get that super early. Intro is amazing and also long. Spend a lot of times in cutscenes and walking around the castle. Then you go to Hogsmeade and into a shop to get your wand. I explored a bit and got wand customization like an eagle grip, one grip that looked like something that came out from the abyss of hell, a grip that swirled all the way around your wand. So it sounds like you get some really incredibly unique wands in this game. And to hear that they're customizable, also, that is amazing. And you got to remember, your character is also fully customizable. And it sounds like you can do a lot of things go beyond just having a cloak or something like that. You can have different outfits that kind of mirror the Fantastic Beasts series. So that's pretty interesting. Now, from Flow Silver, I should say, says this: how long till you get a broom and can fly around? Also, I'm so jealous of you. I'm a PC player. I know if you guys heard the news about PC players, or if you missed that, by the way, check out my video about what's going on with that controversy. Now, Hammy Bammy says you get broom early on also, just as you get the wand early on. So within the first couple hours, you'll have access to your broom. So no big deal. It's not like you're going to get the broom on the 20th hour or something. Now, we have this here. How many hours you think that can take? I'm expecting 60 hours of campaign and a huge map. I love this wizard world. So everyone wants to pretty much stay in it forever. Hammy Bammy goes on to say this is just his opinion. How they got the main quest set up, I could honestly say if I rush this game, it'll take me a good 40 to 50 hours to beat. But if I want to do everything, like even when you get to certain levels, you can do a side quest to unlock certain spells, we are looking at an easy 100 hours. And that does seem to be the case. I've been hearing like 80 hours to do everything, 100 hours. So it's going to be dependent on your style of play, if you're like going to be speed running it or whatever, or if you're going to be taking the time out to really enjoy the vivarium with your creatures. That's another thing to do. Now, we have this. Can you have color wands like pink? And we have the response right here, which is you can indeed have different color wands. I have not seen the option pink, but I know there's different colors. So yeah, I think they're going to keep it kind of realistic in terms of the Harry Potter universe, but I think there's going to be a lot of customization still. Now, Drunken Skulliger says, I'd like to hear some balanced thoughts. As much as it's good to hear people enjoying it, people saying it's amazing, it's perfect, sounds like fanboyism, and it's typical honeymoon phase. I guess we'll wait for reviews. And that does happen. There's usually a lot of excitement around the game when it initially releases. And yeah, it says this right here. It came off that way, but I can only say so far, the only balance I can say is needed is the first boss. Every time he was low, some random spell from outside the area we were fighting was knocking me on the ground for him to slam his big butt feet on me. So I died a lot during that, and not a warning or signal to let me know it was coming, but I'm early in on the game. I'm speaking for myself, so I can come off biased. Well, again, you know, it might be that he's still learning the game as well. It sounds like, you know, he has more time to really get used to the combat. Perhaps there's some indicators he's missing with the bosses. But from his opinion, it seems like he's also played Souls games. He's familiar with these type of games. So we'll have to see how the boss battles do actually pan out. But from what I'm seeing with the actual combat, it's looking good, man. Now, we have this from Tony, who says this: it's confirmed you can actually sit in the game. And this might not seem like a big deal to most people, but, you know, you guys know that I have covered Cyberpunk, and it's interesting. One of the most requested features from that game is just the ability to sit, lounge around. And I guess people find that really, really important. Well, guess what? You can sit in this game. You can lie in your bed, whatever you want to do with that. So to me, it shows that they're willing to pay attention to the details. Now, if you're wondering, is there going to be romance in Hogwarts Legacy? Well, it's been finally confirmed that there will be no romance in this game, but you will be able to develop those friendships. So that's pretty cool. It's not going to be like a Cyberpunk in that way, of course. So don't expect a full-blown romance experience with Hogwarts Legacy. And as always, I love reading your comments from my videos, so it's time to go over your top comments. Before we do that, remember, check this out right here. That's right, I'm doing a very big next-gen console giveaway, so for a chance to win a PS5, Xbox Series X, or Nintendo Switch, be sure to follow that link in the pinned comment. Good luck to everyone who enters. All right, so the first comment comes from... it's your boy Apollo, who says this: we don't ask games to be perfect, we ask games to be fun and worth our time. It seems today that gaming companies have forgotten this. I agree. It seems like a lot of these gaming companies just have this weird template that they go off of what should be successful. And I'm happy when gaming companies go outside of the box and take risks. That's where you get a lot of the fun, innovative games, in my opinion. All right, then we have Ants the Third, who says, why not land on rooftops? Maybe because they didn't want you to walk on the rooftops and have a 99% chance of falling off said roof. The only thing I hope is that it brings the nostalgia of Chamber of Secrets and Prisoner of Azkaban games. Yeah, I hear ya. I still wish I could walk around on rooftops, at least a balcony or something like that, just for the vistas, for the views. But again, there is an area, a tower that you can walk on and get those vistas apparently. So that makes me happy. I'm happy. It's no big deal. Kayla goes on to say this: I really hope we see custom story modes in the future. Story mods, excuse me. What I couldn't give to attend Hogwarts from year 1 to year 7 in its entirety. I think the modding community will be extremely passionate about this game just because it is Harry Potter. It is so beloved. So I'm crossing my fingers that maybe, just maybe, we end up with a modding community that's as passionate about this game as the modding community for Skyrim was and still is. That would make the longevity of this one absolutely incredible up until hopefully we get a sequel for it. Now, Shakira says this right here: keep in mind that people who are trying to stream this and play this early are playing it with no first day patch. So guessing some of the nitpicks listed might hopefully be fixed. I hear you on that, but again, I am going to say don't expect the game to be absolutely perfect. There was a fairly large patch that did release for most of the people that do have the game currently. I'm assuming that is like the day 1 patch. That's my assumption. So yeah, if you're hearing about glitches and things like that, yeah, probably do further patches, but don't expect the game to be absolutely 100% perfect, which is okay. Lachi says this: I think one of the first mods will be Quidditch. Yes, and hopefully they have like an official DLC that does bring Quidditch to the game, or some sort of big expansion. That would make a lot of sense. I would love to see some sort of massive story expansion that revolves around a story that is about the Quidditch tournament and the dangers of that on and off the field, I guess you would say. So I think that'd be cool. Now, Sir Daniel says the following: I never expected perfect. This will be Avalanche's first big game. I've been expecting a 6 to 7-10 game the entire time I've been waiting for this game, keeping my expectations lower and my hype in check. And I'm willing to bet I'll be pleasantly surprised. Smart man. On the flip side to that, most people seem to have their expectations set to the moon, thinking this game will check every single box on their list of desires. I hate to break it to everyone, but that isn't going to be the case, and that's okay. That does not mean the game will be bad by any means. And in my opinion, it also just gives room for improvement with the sequel. That's how these games usually go. They keep improving on the franchise, and that's what I'm honestly expecting from Hogwarts Legacy. All right, there it is. The latest happenings around Hogwarts Legacy. Stay tuned for more news and updates, and yes, tips, tricks, and all that good stuff. We are getting so close to release. Smack that like button if you are hyped, and I will see you all next time. Take care.